All right, let's take a moment to just check in with what we're gonna do today. So today's video is Electron to Tauri, updater hijacking. What we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be looking at Electron's updater that most projects, I believe, use. I'm not really good at Electron, but I do believe this is the project that most Electron projects use to provide auto updating to the latest version. And I have just figured out how to do it for Linux and Windows in a pretty convenient manner. It's not completely like hacker style hijacking, but app image for Linux, you just replace a couple values and upload the new app image and you're good to go. On Windows, you need a bit of a JavaScript snippet in order to manually download and install the update. I haven't fully developed that snippet, partially because I don't want to be held responsible for the snippet. There's a couple things you need to take care of in there. I might expand upon it and offer it at some point, but today we'll just be looking at the snippet I made. It's a very basic snippet. It's like 30-40 lines long maybe. And those are the only two real options that need to be supported, because those are the options that Tauri really supports. If you use Debian packages, .deb, then you should just be uploading the update to your PPA, and you'll be distributing the version update that way. I don't know how to do it on Mac, because I don't own a Mac, so I can't verify it, which is why I'm not going to go over it. It might be as simple as app image, but I don't know. But let's get into it. So this is the feature request on GitHub that basically wants to get some help migrating from Electron to Tauri in a live application, which is primarily related to ensuring that the auto update feature can switch people over to Tauri. Now, what I've toyed with, this was almost 2 months ago. I toyed with it a bit and came to the conclusion that at least on Windows, the MSI version didn't quite work. But today I tested again, and app image actually worked. Surprisingly simple to get to work. Windows, it was being so I did not get that to work fully. However, I did make the snippet to make it work, and I can test on Mac. And this is the snippet. This is basically all you need to make the most bare bones of versions function. I want to stress that this is just the basics. There's at least two things we don't do here. We don't do checksum checking, which you should really do in a production app, which is essentially checking the SHA-512 checksum for the file to ensure that you aren't being hacked or something. And I'm downloading the file to just installer.msi in the current working directory, which might not always work. So that should really be in a temporary path, and we should do checksum checking. Otherwise, this snippet will download the file, and when it's done, it will spawn the MSI exec command, which will try to install the app, and we unref it and spawn and unref it so that the process continues after the parent process, the Electron process, has died, and then we just app exit out of it. And it looks exactly like you would have expected it to do if the updater had worked the way I wanted it to. So this is a workaround for MSI installation, but it works well. All you really need to do is release one last Electron version that has something along these lines, and you'll have hijacked the Electron updater. Well, let's take a look at it in practice, what it might look like. If I run pnpm dev now, this will, goddammit, it's on the wrong window, but you'll see that it immediately went to the updater, or the installer. I'm gonna try to be quicker this time. Come on. Well, you got some kind of flash of it at least, and it really just downloads the file. I've hard coded it right now, so it's just that. But for example, well, actually, we can check it here. This is all the information we have available. So I mean, if you just take that part, we could switch this out for, let's do like this. So this would be info dot path is probably the best thing to use, and this was with a V first. Yes, so tag info dot tag releases download. This is the only hard-coded path part right now of the path, which you could easily replace. And then you just make sure that this is a temp file, and you do the checksum checking based on what you have here. And the weird format here is, I'm not even sure what format that is. The installer found it for me. To get the actual checksum that you should be checking with, you just run in a command prompt where you have the command available. You can just run, for example, that this is the value you want to put in, for example, latest.yml. So this would be the checksum for that file. And in order to go the rest of the way, you can add the file name. Let's do lsla and find that this is the size of it, and this is version 11, and we just need to set this release date to whatever it should be, which I usually just bump a little bit just to make sure that it doesn't clash with the previous version. And this would be a valid latest.yml file. If we go on GitHub, we can go to github.com/simonhill/electron to Tauri. And here in releases, you can find version 10 and version 11. All we've done to make the release is we've uploaded latest.yml and the installer. This installer, the MSI file, is the one you got from Tauri. So if you run pnpm tauri build, the file you'll be updating is source tauri target release bundle MSI, And there you go. That's the file that you'll be uploading. And that's the file you'll be referencing in latest.yml as well. And this ensures that the updater can get the latest.yml file. It can find that the file exists and everything, and you can get this easy message to get like the checksums and whatnot. And then you just have to have this custom snippet in order to actually perform the download and running. And running it one more time, just to show all the way what happens. This is the Electron app. It goes to that, of course, I've already installed it, so we're gonna remove it. Finish, run it again. And bam, bam, bam. And then we launch it, and hello world, which is now the version 0.11 that we downloaded from GitHub releases. The next thing I want to show is just how this looks on Linux, which we'll do in a dev container. Alright, now we have the dev container available, and I do believe that the command is also here, just pnpm dev. And I did develop the Windows version on the side, so I do believe the reason it's failing is because the latest version on that I have up, this might not be the correct one. Version certain. Actually, it should be. Oh, right. I think it's actually this part. No, wait, it's not, because that's in the Windows end. But yeah, all I did to get this to work was you have to upload a file in this format. If it has, as I mentioned in the issue, if it has oh wait, do I mention it there? Oh, right here. If it has block map size, you can just remove that. Block map size is just related to optimizing the download so it can like be continued and things like that. But if we just dist Electron updater app image 0.10 libfuse to 0 app update. Did I run this in the other end? Yes, I did. So yeah. So that's why it doesn't work right. I forgot that I had done it like this. And this is just the built version, so we're not going to run it in the dev container because there were dependencies. Do I have the dependencies still up here? Yes, libfuse2 sudo app install libfuse2 and lib nss3, and then we should be able to dist electron updater 0.10, and there we go. Update available. Just wait for it, and there you go. the app image has been updated, even though I'm not sure why it's not showing anything right now. You should be able to see, yep, there we go, 0.11. So what the app image does is actually delete the old version. So 0.10 was deleted in favor of the latest version. But if I run now sudo mod electron up there example 0.10 and we remove that one, then we should be able to run. This is the Electron version. Update available, downloading. Oh. And here it worked better. We'll chuck that up to weirdness inside the dev container. But as you can see, this is Hello World from the Tauri app. Could have made that a bit more interesting, but yeah. Basic Hello World, and we've now hijacked app image. We've hijacked MSI, even though MSI required a custom JavaScript part to it. Debian files, you upload to a PPA in order to update, and I'm not sure about Mac because I don't have a Mac. But yeah, that's about all I had to show you today. Have a good one. Bye.